It's the next day. It's been one hell of an emotional weekend. Sunday, which obviously I uploaded a video to this channel. I was literally on the break. Well, I did cry. After I filmed that video, I did cry. As you can see in the video, I was a bit tearful. But unfortunately, Leeds United are relegated back to the Championship over poor ownership, poor leadership, poor management. Andrea Radrizzani was not at the game yesterday. Even though the Sampdoria bid for 75 million, I believe it was, he put a bid in for, has been done, I believe. But he was not at Ellen Road. It just shows how much he cared. Didn't care one bit. And they've literally had a legit golden nugget, I would say, of Leeds United. Brought back into the Premier League. Everyone loved Andrea. And then it just went all tips up. And it got to the point where, Victor Orta was sacked. Anias Kinnear, I don't know how the hell he's still there. Everybody at the game yesterday was booing, shouting, swearing. I'm not surprised that these players would be getting abused, but I do not condone it. I think if you're a fan of Leeds United, you should respect the players whether we're losing or not. But the disappointing thing is, it's been piss poor management. We had three or four managers in one season. Can you believe that? 3 managers, sorry. So we had obviously Marsh, Gracia, technically 4 because we had Skubala, and then we had Allardyce. So I'm just at this point where the club just need to sort out their antics, because we would get hammered by a Championship team if we're the same as we are now. We need to go out and sign the best Championship defenders, strikers. We need to clear out. Unfortunately, there is news that Robin Koch will be leaving the club. I don't know if Dan James is going to get sold off, because obviously he was 25 million. He's on loan at Fulham. Well, not anymore, but yeah. So it's one of those things. Will we get decent players in the Championship to bring us straight back up? I don't know. Southampton are a good side. They've got great players, like Ward-Prowse, but he'll probably go back into the Prem anyway. He'll probably get a transfer. And then you've got, obviously, Leicester was relegated with us as well. So I don't know. I don't know if we can bring it back up, especially with Luton Town promoted to the Premier League, which is crazy to think that Luton's in the Premier League now and we've been kicked out. Just shows you don't have to be a big team to be competing. And one thing that I would like to raise is Everton, Man City. Both of those teams somehow on the hush for FFP, just financial fair play, if anyone doesn't know, and they got away with it. But I've heard in the stratosphere, in the clouds of the football world, that all the clubs are suing Everton because they've had, I think it was a £275 million loss or £375 million loss, when they're only allowed to record a £100 million loss, which obviously has broken the financial fair play rules. But I'm surprised that Everton is always being kept in the Premier League once, even 11 minutes added time the game before. This is not an excuse or trying to hit back at Everton fans. I just think that it's a bit coincidental that every time that Everton are in a relegation fight or in a fight, they get handed extra little tips from the ref. And I will stand here and say, yes, Leeds weren't good enough this season. We weren't clinical enough. We couldn't finish. We couldn't score goals. It was the most boringest season in the world after the World Cup. We first started the season well. We were winning games. Then Rodrigo got injured. Then it all just went tips up down there. So obviously there's more to it than just injuries. But spent a hell of a lot of money. We've got no return. Ruta, I think he'll smash it in the Championship, because he's only 21. He's had a hefty tag on his shoulders, 36 million pound. I kept hearing the commentator on the game yesterday saying he was bought for 25 when total comp was 36 million, which is so much money for a 21-year-old. So I'm just at this point where I don't know what the club are going to do. I think that they need to get some players in. They need to sack the board. Angus Kinnear needs to be sacked. You know, if 49ers would take over 100% of the club, good. But I heard that they're not going to do that based on if we get relegated. So if we got relegated this season, which we have, they were going to stay with their percentage. But obviously, Andrea Radrizzani has gone back to Italy. I'm a bit sad because put so much time and effort. It's not just, obviously I supported them through the Championship. A lot of us did, but once we got to the Premier League, I thought this was going to be a new age, if that makes sense. We're going to smash it. We're going to get our club in order, but no, we didn't do that. We completely fumbled 2 seasons. First season was great, finished 9th, I believe. Then both seasons, Rafinha saved us last season. That should have been a lesson. Should have been a lesson learned, but we didn't. We didn't learn that lesson. We didn't buy new players. We just bought, I think, 5 players. We need a whole backup squad. We need more defenders, more attackers. So if our attackers are out, injured, we've got good quality coming off the bench, and they know the game plan. And we need a manager that absolutely will smash it out of the park for us and actually bring us back. Because a lot of people are saying they don't like Sam Allardyce, but I'm a bit on the fence with that because he is a good manager, and I'm not just saying that because, you know, he's Sam Allardyce, but he knows what he's talking about. Yes, he can be a little bit exaggerated and kind of, you know, saying I'm better than Pep and Klopp, but in terms of his knowledge of the game, he has good knowledge, but he just didn't have enough time. Four games he had. He was brought in too late, unfortunately. 4 games. So it's a tricky one to think about because there's a lot of other fans on here that would say he was crap, but he did turn the club around. Maybe not into wins, but we did start getting draws. We weren't losing as much, and then we lost 2 games. I think we lost, but we've had so many chances. We get into the final third, we can't finish, we can't score. Jack Harrison and Rodrigo and Ayling are probably the only players, and Christensen, because you can see the passion in those 4. But the rest of them, Voba as well on the fence, but the rest of them, I don't know. I think the next season, Championship, we need to get all the younger players on. Archie Gray, like, give them a shot. Why not? You know, Ruta, I think if he started next season, had the whole summer to train, practice, obviously with a new squad, new players coming in, and obviously might be still Sam Allardyce if he agrees a contract with Ellen Road and Leeds United. We may be able to do it because Ruta does have the capability, but he's had immense pressure. I'm not giving him excuses. He was piss poor this season since he's come in. He hasn't had enough time to transition from the Bundesliga, I believe, into the Premier League. But I reckon he's got a chance in the Championship. I think he can turn his game around because, you know, is what it is. I think Yonto's going to be going back to Italy. I've seen a few things there. Aronson apparently is staying. Manchester United are like hawks on, on Leeds United right now for Tyler Adams. It's a bit scary, but let me know your thoughts on yesterday's game or on Sunday's game, and fingers crossed we can get some good recruitment. And yeah, turning this channel more into a vlogging style channel now. Obviously it's still going to keep with the football updates. I might do more vlogging settings. Yes, I've got a vlogging channel as well if you want to check that out, William Ward Vlogs, but I don't post as much on there, but I will post on here, so stick around. Even if you're a football fan, I try and include my actual life as well instead of reporting news, but I'm trying to make it a more all-round channel, which is what I love, and I love football, and hopefully Leeds United will do something for us next season, and we'll be back up this time next year. So yeah, fingers crossed, touch wood. So click the subscribe button. I'll see you guys very soon. See you later.